Hey everyone, welcome back to the Critical Laughter podcast, where if you cut off one podcast, two more take its place. And I am Scott.
I'm Grant.
And I'm Craig.
And before we get going, just so everyone knows, the numbering is going to be probably a little bit off after this episode. We're going to be playing with some other stuff, so just heads up.
Yeah. We shall see what happens. Hopefully the reaction isn't like the internet recently with them.
Hail
We're going to talk
Hydra.
about That's right, this numbering change is a direct relation that, we have joined Hydra now because apparently
Why wouldn't you join Hydra? That is the new thing to do. That is the cool.
The main reason
all of the cool kids are doing it.
Hold on, the main reason I've held off for so long is because I was like, you know what? We need like a good face for Hydra. And they're just what? I mean, like, there's the Red Skull, but have you seen his face? Not a good representation.
It's a little red. He's been out in the sun a little too long.
Yeah, I mean, I know I sunburn easily, but that's just another extreme. But anyway, with this new release of Captain America being a Hydra agent, I was suddenly like, hey, I have no excuse now. This is beautiful. So I went and joined Hydra. So
I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's the best reason ever to join a worldwide terrorist organization.
Yeah, I mean, all I needed was a good role model to tell me how to terrorize people.
That's what I do. That's what I live by.
Yes. And all those parents out there who are telling your children not to join Hydra,
stop lying to your kids!
You should be ashamed. Like, seriously, I see those posts on the internet all the time. Facebook posts, memes, whatever. And people are just like, man, I can't believe Captain America's like, joined Hydra. It's like, well, he is Captain America, guys. Follow America.
If America tells you to join terrorist organization, you must do so. Because in Russia, we tell you to join Unicorn Schedule. Don't know what that is. But in Russia, Unicorn Schedule.
It is funny that, like, some of the backlash I've seen.
So, anyways,
so seriously, disclaimer.
So whoever is still listening now.
Yeah.
So today's podcast, we are talking about the recent, semi-recent. This is going to be, by the time this goes up, it's the next issue is probably almost going to be out. But the recent, for us, it's recent. The revelation that Captain America is a Hydra agent. Spoiler alert! If you haven't been on the internet for the past month.
You know what? One good thing came out of this Captain America is a Hydra agent. The trend, give Captain America a boyfriend, is not trending anymore.
It's true.
We solved the problem, guys.
Take one controversial concept and replace it with another.
I personally prefer this one.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be discussing. Grant, it sounded like you had something you want to say.
Just, it's really crazy to see the backlash, because,
just so everyone knows, I don't know if it's been clear, Grant is a huge Captain America fan. Like it is his favorite superhero. So, like, if anyone has, I think I purposely went and asked Grant his reaction pretty quickly, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I wonder how Grant feels about this. Yeah. But, yeah, so.
And people, like, I swear from the internet, you think that, like, us three are the only people not freaking out.
Pretty much.
Like, I've seen there's one YouTube channel I watch, and he was pretty chill with it, and I think he was for the same reason we are, is because we know this isn't going to last.
One of my favorite reactions was actually the Nerdist channel. This podcast sponsored by the Nerdist.
Oh, man.
Sponsored, not sponsored.
We're self-sponsored.
Inside joke. If you haven't listened to the other episodes, go do it now.
We have no sponsor.
You have no sponsor.
If you're interested.
So we make up that one.
Honestly, I think we should keep making up a sponsor and just.
And then one day we're gonna get an email and they're gonna be like, "Hey, do you want us to sponsor you for reals?" We're gonna be like, "Yes."
I'm down with picking something out there, like either like somebody else. Sorry to distract everything, but I think if we just pick something random that we sponsor, like we can even do like
this week's podcast sponsored by Wakanda, the greatest source for vibranium.
Hey, don't be downsizing on Nerdist. We can't. We want them to be the sponsor this week.
All right, sorry, Nerdist. You are the official level 6 sponsor.
You're the official imaginary sponsor for this week's episode.
Yep. So,
but anyways,
send us some money. We'll keep sponsoring.
So anyways, I watched the Nerdist actually, of course. They had a video up pretty quickly, and you guys haven't watched it, have you?
No, I haven't watched that
one. So I watched it, and it was, the two guys were Dan Casey and Kyle Hill. Dan Casey is like the superhero, kind of like more the fantasy side, and Kyle Hill is the guy that does because science.
Yeah.
So he's the science guy. But
if
they're
you
both
don't watch that, you should, because it's fantastic.
Fantastic Four. Next week.
More fantastic.
It better be more fantastic than Fantastic Four.
But anyways, so they were doing, and those guys are hilarious together. But so they did it, and they were like, they weren't upset at all. I mean, they're like, guys, first of all, it's a fictional character, and then second of all, this happens all the time in comics, so it'll probably be resolved pretty quickly. And then I don't remember. I don't think that they actually said, like, flat out whether they agreed or disagreed with it. But their reaction was basically, everyone needs to calm down. Because they're, that's my feeling too, is there's people that are literally sending death threats to the writer and even, the editor. Like, they're just sending these death threats, like, horrible death threats that make them sound like serial killers.
Well, there's another one too I saw on Facebook. These kids were just so upset that their hero is now a Hydra agent, and the parents are like, no, the creator's a Hydra agent. And
yeah, I've seen that.
I'm just like,
come on, guys.
Whoa, this is not okay.
Well, and I was actually talking with Craig earlier about this, and the thing
you guys talk without me? I thought that was
no, Grant.
I thought
this was during your break.
Oh, okay.
We only talk to each other while we're here.
Well, we had to make sure he's not a Skrull, so you know. But so so we were talking earlier, and the thing is especially as of late, Marvel is making a big deal that the superhero isn't the person. So, like, for example, recently, like, with Sam... Are you looking at memes?
Yeah. Sorry.
So, for example, like, Sam Wilson recently became the new Captain America. And so Marvel is really intent on saying, hey, they're like, this is the new Captain America. People, of course, took that completely out of context, but basically Marvel's been pushing to say that the hero is a mantle. I mean, they even made Thor a mantle, and that's the dude's name. That's another subject.
Thor Odinson, and then there's Thor the superhero.
So that's another talk for another day. But they've been focusing really hard on making this a mantle. Like, Captain America is a mantle. Anyone can become Captain America if they have the right ideals.
Yeah.
I think the reason why they're doing that is the reboots are killing the comic book world right now. That's my guess. Because they just barely, like, merged the reality into one for Marvel universes. Again.
Not really again. Marvel hasn't really ever done that.
Oh, so this is the first time that they've merged
Marvel has never done a huge reboot. They do retcons. And they usually do retcons, and occasionally they will not even really necessarily reboot. Like, this is the first time they've done it. DC is the one that just reboots whenever the crap they feel like it. Yeah. For example, they just rebooted again.
I actually watched a video on that. Apparently it's not like a real reboot, but it's kind of a soft reboot. I don't know how it works.
Marvel's was a soft reboot.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because it's the history of the characters are still there.
Yeah,
that's the big difference between what Marvel does.
Basically, Marvel did a Days of Future Past.
Not even really, though, because in Days of Future Past, they pretty much said, yeah, the first 3 X-Men movies don't exist.
Well, they just changed them.
Not even... Well, that's not even the same as what Marvel's doing, though, because, I mean, like, Peter Parker still has the exact same history that's happened, you know. Bitten by the spider, fought a bunch of people, made a deal with Mephisto, got married Peter 3 times.
No, Peter Parkers, though. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
There's been multiple versions of Peter Parker.
In different universes.
Yeah.
But the 616, the main Marvel universe, is the same still.
Okay, that's right.
It's just it was like a soft reboot. Like all the main characters in the main universe still have the same backstory.
And from what I'm understanding, that's more what's going on with the recent Rebirth. I think is what it's called.
Yeah, it's called
the
Rebirth.
DC version. It's more of a soft reboot where things are kind of mixing.
That will be a first for DC. They've rebooted the DC universe so many times.
And Batman's found out about his parents dying so many times.
So, I mean, not even counting the movies. Like, the comics have been rebooted so many
How many
times.
times have we had a Batman origin story in the movie?
Every time Batman shows up. Like, anyway, so I think...
I know I told you this last time, but
my parents are dead.
My parents are dead.
And my mom's name.
Why'd you say that name?
I know your parents are dead, Batman. You tell me this every time.
So, anyway, going back to what our topic was,
Hail
Captain
Hydra.
America, Captain Hydra.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons there's such a big backlash now is because the superheroes have gone more mainstream with the movie.
I think it's totally true.
Like,
I mean, and Captain America Civil War just came out.
yeah, so it's...
So, a lot of, like, the thing is if you look, I've seen a lot of reactions that are basically, you know, the people that are freaking out aren't necessarily fans. There are some people that are freaking out that are fans, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
That happens. But a lot of people that are, like, wigging out are more quote-unquote fans. They've seen the movies. They're not, like, super familiar with, like, how comics work.
Right. So, I feel like it's still an overreaction, but
It's totally an overreaction. I'm not downplaying that at all. But, I mean, so, yeah, that's the thing, though, is that a lot of people, I mean, because the thing is, in the comics, this happens all the time. Even if you're not super familiar with comics, like, Craig, you've read some comics, but you're pretty familiar with comics, and you know that this is a pretty common thing. People go evil, people die, people come back to life.
Thor was a frog for a while, so...
Actually, Thor Odin's son was?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember right.
Well, and one of the things is, remember, these are storytelling principles. Captain America, how many times has he beaten Red Skull? How many times has he fought Hydra?
How many times has he thrown his mighty shield?
Exactly.
And made them yield.
But the thing is how many times has Captain America been tempted by Hydra? Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the first time that Captain America has officially been tempted.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a bigger deal like that. I mean, because it is a big deal. When I saw it, I was like, wow. And I went and bought the comic, so good job, Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is the funny part about all this is that is all pretty much anyone was talking about for at least like a week, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if this issue has been sold out from people either buying it out of curiosity or people that are like, is this true? I need to go see if this is true. It's true! Gosh darn it!
I'm gonna go burn my Captain America t-shirt.
And you'll all regret it later. So you should just
And I'm just putting it out there. I was Team Iron Man before this happened. So.
No, I thought you were Team Spider-Man.
I'm both.
I thought the point of being Team Spider-Man was so you could be both Team Cap and Team Iron Man.
Well, yeah, see, I can jump ship to Team Iron Man and nobody will bat an eye. But,
no, you're supposed to jump ship from Team Iron Man to Team Cap.
Because
I did that and then I went back.
Oh, okay.
Tony Stark's got money.
Hey, he's got cool tech.
Yeah. We're science bros. We're science bros. Yeah.
Sorry, Cap.
Tangent! But, yeah, I mean, but people are definitely overreacting. Like, especially with death threats. Like, death threats are never okay. And I mean, it's really ironic that people are like, oh, I'm a Captain America fan, and like, he's always stood for right, so I'm gonna kill people! It's like,
yeah.
Even if Captain America wasn't a Hydra agent, like, I'm pretty sure Captain America wouldn't go kill people because of something like this.
Well, he
just
does now.
out there.
The Hydra.
We don't know if he's killed anybody's brother. That's the other thing.
Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the comic, you really should, because there's a lot more than that one panel.
That panel's on the net where he throws the guy.
Is it on the net?
Yeah, that's how I saw it first.
But most people have only seen the Hail Hydra panel. That's the thing.
No, the panel I saw, because I read an article about it, I was like, what the crap is going on, Marvel?
But yeah, he did throw a guy to his supposed death. To his supposed death. But that's the thing.
What superpower did he have?
I don't know, but he's in a costume. Nobody in a costume dies from a fall.
Also, this is comics again.
Except when
unless you see a grave, they're not dead, and even then.
Well, rule number one of the Marvel Universe is
nobody stays dead except Uncle Ben
and Gwen Stacy.
Well, except she's now back.
It's not the original Gwen Stacy though. That's an alternate universe Gwen Stacy.
That's how people come back. Alternate universes, clones.
Yeah. So, but
etc.
the real Gwen Stacy and Uncle Ben have never come back.
AKA, Peter Parker can never be happy.
Yep, basically.
Poor Peter.
But, so, the other reason why people are overreacting is because this is literally the first issue. Like, comic books are weird in that you have multiple books that make up a story arc, but in reality, this is like reading chapter 1 and saying, oh, I hate this book.
No, even better. Reading the last page of chapter 1 and saying, why would you do this?
Or no, didn't we describe this as the Harry Potter series? Is buying all of 7 of the Harry Potter series and reading the last page and being like, what the crap, J.K. Rowling? You don't know what you're doing.
It's like, well, the last page of book 1. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because, I mean, this isn't even like the end of a story arc. This is literally the beginning of a story arc, and people are flipping out at the last page.
Yep.
It's like, because honestly, like, you guys have read it. I made you guys read it.
Yeah.
It.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did read it.
And so if you actually read it, you go, huh, there's
It's
something
intriguing.
more going on.
It's really intriguing.
It's a
to
really
actually
well-written
read
story.
the whole thing.
Anyone who's out there going, oh my gosh, Nick Spencer's an awful writer and like bad writing. No, it's a
It
really
was
good story.
beautifully done.
It is way good. And the Hail Hydra panel is literally one tiny piece of it. And I'm excited for the next issue, honestly. Like, I'm super excited because I want to see where it goes. But yeah, I think a big point that's been brought up multiple times, I've noticed, is that the original creators of Captain America, Jack Kirby and Joe Simon,
Yeah.
they were Jewish, and they created Captain America as a symbol of freedom to fight Nazis. And then people are like, oh, now Captain America's a Nazi. You're spitting on their graves, you're punching their corpses, and like you're defiling their graves and their mother's hand baskets. And you know, despite the fact that that's pretty ridiculous in itself, the thing that's really been bugging me is Hydra isn't Nazis. Because, I mean, like, here's a huge cue to why Hydra isn't Nazis. Hydra wasn't invented until I think Stan Lee took over the comics. So, Hydra's they're not, so Captain America wasn't fighting Hydra in the original comics. So they're not Nazis. They're similar because they're both terrorists. Like the thing about Hydra is that it is even Red Skull, even taking Red Skull was originally a follower of Hitler, but then he basically went against Hitler and said, no, what you're doing is wrong. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Granted, his is a bit more evil, but that's not the point.
Well, and even in this comic too, where Captain America is revealed as a Hydra agent, there's more to it because Red Skull is in America rounding up American citizens to join Hydra. He's not being a Nazi in America.
No. I mean, that's the thing.
He's
a lot of people
racist.
are kidding.
Yes.
He's super racist.
And
But the thing about
ideas are
Hydra,
similar,
I actually brought this up to you guys before, is like, the main thing with like Nazism is the anti-Semitism, which is discrimination against Jewish people, discrimination and hatred of Jewish people. I'm sure Hydra would recruit Jewish people if they came to him.
Hydra recruited
anyone. Hydra's thing isn't, oh, Germans are the superior race and we need to kill everyone. We need to kill all Jewish people and we need to, and all da. That's Nazism. Well, and Hydra doesn't do that. That's the thing, is Hydra is not Nazis. So yeah, Captain America is a bad guy, but calling him a Nazi is a huge stretch, and you obviously aren't super familiar with the mythology of these comics at all.
Also, watch Captain America Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Because even if you don't want to read the comics, what was Hydra going after? They were using S.H.I.E.L.D. to kill potential threats to what organization? Hydra. So basically Hydra has two groups of people. Hydra people and non-Hydra people.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no...
They are definitely a terrorist group. They're definitely bad guys. But they're not Nazis. Nazis are completely different.
Nazi is a superior race. Hydra is literally, it's either us or it's everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like Hydra, like, that's the thing that's bugging me, is everyone's like going, oh, Hydra's Nazis, and it's not. They're not. They're really not. I'm not. It probably sounds like I'm defending Hydra.
Well,
plot twist. I'm Hydra.
Except we announced that at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's true. But it's not that I'm defending Hydra. It's just I'm getting annoyed at I'm getting annoyed at the stupidity of people. So people just they're overacting like a ton on fractured information.
Yep.
And that's
welcome to the internet, delivered to you by Twitter
and Tumblr
and Facebook. But I mean, on like that's the annoying part is people just aren't getting it. Yes, Captain America's a bad guy, and here's the kicker. Here's the part that I think is hilarious. Is I've seen people that are like, this is nothing like the Superior Spider-Man arc. Also, spoilers for this because I'm gonna drop a bomb. So people are like, oh, this is nothing like it. I'm like, it's exactly the same.
Wasn't the
Superior Spider-Man arc was that that Dr. Octopus took over Peter Parker's mind and killed Peter Parker.
Yep.
So that, and for Spider-Man fans, that is like outrage.
It was a huge deal.
Like, I was mad about it. I wasn't threatening to kill people, granted. I was more like, well, I'm not gonna read Spider-Man anymore.
But it got better, because didn't they bring that change into the War with Ultron?
Kind of.
Because
in Age of Ultron, because it was Dr. Octopus in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really affected that too much.
Well, I thought it did because there's a point where Doc Ock could have stopped Ultron, but he tried to control him instead in the comics. And because he tried to control him instead, Ultron was able to escape, and it completely backlashed.
There was
it might be. I'd have to reread it. I haven't read Age of Ultron in a while.
There was something where it's like...
The comics, mind you, not the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a point where Doc Ock, Superior Spider-Man, did something that was detrimental, and Peter Parker wouldn't have done that. I can't remember exactly what, though.
But, I mean, the thing I was bringing up, though, is, like, this was huge. I wouldn't say... The backlash wasn't as big as the Captain America thing, but it was still really big. A lot of people were just outraged and, like, sending death threats. Like, I think the editor, I don't remember his name, Tom Brevenport or something like that. He referenced Winter Soldier arc in the comics when he brought Bucky back from the dead. And he's like, I was just actually looking at my old emails all I have to do is change Bucky into Captain America in these emails, and they're exactly the same emails. Like he's like I'm not phased. This happens every time we do a big switch up like this. But the thing about Superior Spider-Man, though, getting back to that, is that it's exactly the same thing. People are outraged, people are freaking out, and the point a lot of people bring up with the Captain America thing is, the writers have said, this has always happened, he's always been a Hydra agent, and he's not a robot, he's not a clone, And the thing is, that's exactly what happened with Superior Spider-Man. People are outraged that they killed Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then the writers legitimately said, Peter Parker is dead, gone forever, and as long as I'm in charge, he's not coming back.
Which, it's a twist. It's a change in the story because you can't tell the same story
over of course not.
Over again.
So, the funny part about that, though, about the Superior Spider-Man, I'm monologuing again, but there's a point. So, the funny thing about it is Dan Slott, bold-faced, lied to everyone. He even admitted to it later on, saying, yes, Peter Parker was always coming back. Spoiler, he does come back. So Peter Parker came back to life and everything was fine and dandy, and Dan Slott even said, this is the plan from the beginning. He's like, I feel bad, I had to lie to children. But like that's the thing, it's like, so people are like, no, they've left no room for anything to happen. It's like, no. Creators lie all the time because they want to keep that surprise. They want to keep that tension. Yeah, like you were saying. I mean, this is a writing thing. This is the twist, the surprise. But we live in a world where things get spoiled on a daily basis. Like movies get spoiled. Like within months of the trailer coming out.
Just the trailer can spoil a movie, guys.
Like, well, not even that. Like the teaser, like or like the script gets leaked online, or someone takes a picture of a surprise on the set. Yeah. And we live in a day and age where it's hard to keep a secret. So a lot of creators have turned to like lying or deceiving so they can keep that surprise. I mean, cause I know for me, I love being surprised. It's like, it's such a fun feeling going, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. Mm-hmm. I mean, Craig, you can even attest to that, and
yes,
you even more so because you it's really hard to surprise you.
It is, and honestly, it literally, like, the last, no offense to Marvel movies, but the last several Marvel movies, watching the trailers has just been painful because they put so much cool things in the trailer.
Oh, they do.
But those cool things, if you have any background in Marvel, you're like, well, okay, this is the plot, and this is what's going to happen, and this is why it's going to happen. And then you watch the movie and you're like, well, that was nothing new. There was nothing there for me. So
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'm not if they come out like next year or whatever. I'm gonna put an estimate next year because they said it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
To play out. So they come back and Captain America was never a Hydra agent. They're probably gonna come out and say, yeah, we lied because it ruins the fun.
Maybe he actually is, because that's the thing. Because we've theorized of two possible reasons. Because Red Skull's got Professor X's powers.
Mm-hmm. And his brain specifically.
And there's also this cosmic cube thing going on.
There's lots of cosmic cubes things going on.
So there's a very good chance that he actually is and will be forever tainted by Hydra at this point. But is that going to define him for the rest of his life?
And here's an interesting thing to point out. Okay, so there are so many avenues, even not even contradicting what the writers have said, that could have happened. Yes. There's so many avenues of making it so Captain America is not Hydra anymore. But the thing
there's even
is,
the option of like one thing I'm thinking of is triple agent. Like,
yeah, a lot of people brought that up too.
But
there's that.
Be Hydra.
There's cosmic cube. There's the Professor X's brain. There's so many different ways it could be done. But even if that's not what's going to happen, even if he was a Hydra, an interesting thing to bring up is there's multiple factions of Hydra.
Yes.
I mean, Hydra is a worldwide organization, but if you read the comics, especially in Captain America Steve Rogers #1 that we've been talking about, if you actually read the whole comic, Baron Zemo is actually going against Red Skull. Both huge heads in Hydra.
Yes.
So Baron Zemo is saying, Red Skull is tainting my Hydra. There's multiple factions in Hydra. So who's to say that this faction that recruited Steve isn't exactly the same? Maybe their end goals are something different. Not necessarily good. Well, but bad and good it depends on the person, your perspective and point of view. So I mean, even if he was a Hydra all along, maybe he's not the same. Maybe he's not Nazi, quote unquote Nazi Hydra, and maybe he's not Psycho Hydra. Let's kill all the mutants. Hence Hydra. Maybe he's not this Hydra. So I mean, even if he was always a Hydra agent, who's to say he's this awful evil person? I mean, he's been fighting Hydra his whole life. So
that's another question, though, we need to ask as readers of the story. Why now? Why does he defect now? What changed?
I mean, and that's the thing, is people need to read it. People have only read that. I feel like most people have only seen that one panel.
Yep.
Maybe the couple before it where he throws Jack Flag out the plane.
Yep.
But even then, people haven't read it. And people are jumping to these ridiculous conclusions like, oh, this is awful writing. Like, specifically, someone posted a thing, a screen cap of when, Captain America wielded Mjolnir. And they're like, oh, if he's a Hydra agent all along, how's he able to wield Mjolnir? It's like, I don't know, read the frickin' comic. Well, it's like they're saying it's bad writing based off of one panel. You can't do that. Like, that's
2 words in reality. Not just one panel.
Yeah.
2 words.
It's
Hail Hydra.
And that's the thing, is you can't say it's bad writing if you're not even reading the writing.
No.
Like, that's like going to a movie, watching the opening sequence where it shows the title and going, wow, this is poorly filmed.
No, it's going to the end credits. and be like, I don't like that sequence.
Oh man, the font and spacing on that is terrible.
Man,
the writing on this movie is terrible.
Rotten Tomatoes.
So it's like, I mean, it's annoying to me. It's like, I understand if you're upset. But,
and that's good, actually, because like that's what the writer is going for. And
yeah,
if you're upset by this, that means he did a good job.
They flat out said, yeah, we were expecting this.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, I wasn't expecting this much. But he's like, I was expecting backlash. He's like, you can't do something as huge as this and not expect backlash.
Yeah. Well, and everyone's commented, and actually did a Google search a little bit earlier. I wanted to figure out, because Scott had mentioned to me earlier that, like, stars that were associated with Marvel Studios had come out and,
Gave their thoughts.
And not one of them really gave really super negative. I think the most negative one was Chris Evans. And
it wasn't even negative. He said Hydra, and then hashtag say it ain't so. Yeah. But it was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like that was just him commenting on it. It wasn't, and then he wasn't like, oh my gosh, Marvel is awful. I'm gonna have to redo my contract. Like, it's like, no.
Honestly, I would redo my contract just so I could do this kind of a movie. This would make an awesome movie.
Oh, it really would. Especially if they ended it like that.
Yeah.
People would flip out, but it would be great.
Wouldn't that be great? Infinity War Part 1 ends with Captain America going, Hail Hydra.
Oh my god.
They can't say Avengers Assemble, but he can say Hail Hydra.
Oh god.
I would be mad about that.
So pissed.
That would be beautiful. Beautifully awesome.
Marvel Studios, there's your plot. Infinity Wars Part 1.
They sponsored another episode, so I think they're listening.
Yeah. I'm hoping they are. We've got some good ideas here. Are you kidding me?
But,
they probably listen to it and be like, these guys are going to lose us like billions of dollars. Why are we even going to take their suggestion?
They're going to make people not hate the first issue of Steve Rogers. Dang it! But yeah, people are just, it's being ridiculous. I mean, it's really well written. Yeah. Like, I like, bravo to Nick Spencer. Like, if you're listening.
So, in the future, like, let's fast forward like 30 years. How much do you think this issue would be worth 30 years down the road?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how it plays out.
Because I bet there are some comic book fans out there that probably just maybe tossed it. They're like,
dumpster diving time. Let's go.
Hang on, I'm gonna
this episode has been brought to you by.
Actually, I actually do want it. I'm gonna see if I can find a physical copy because I do want a copy.
Yeah, honestly, I'm half tempted. Like, I would love to just get a print of that last panel and hang it in my house. Like, the artwork on it is amazing, guys. Like,
just like in the hallways, it's the first thing people see.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome because, like, the artwork on that panel is just amazing, really guys. Like,
I mean, that artist is bravo to you. You did a really good job on just capturing the tone, the emotion, and just like, because I kind of wish it wasn't leaked online because. You know, if I hadn't seen this beforehand and I read this, it would have been like an "oh my gosh" moment.
I know.
Even this was ruined by spoilers.
Yep.
I mean, but the thing is the spoilers did cause me to go and buy it. So.
Yeah.
So, it was a good panel. Like, the whole issue was great. But the revelation was really
a testament to that is, I knew the ending. I knew what the final panel was. Mm-hmm. And yet, as I got to it, like, it only really clicked, like, 2 pages before the end. I was like, oh my gosh, this is where it's happening.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
knew the
well
ending, and yet I was still so drawn in. That was a loud key rattle.
Yeah. It was. It's okay. Yeah. I moved the chair by accident. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, no, it's really well done. But I will say this though, one of the best things about the backlash is definitely the memes.
Oh my god!
Have you guys seen?
I've been scrolling at them. Some of these are really funny.
They're hilarious.
Wakes up, Captain America, Hell Hydra, goes back to sleep. Like, Twitter just exploded with this stuff.
See, what were some good ones? A lot of people have made a lot of edits to it.
Here, I got a video here. Let's see what it does. Yeah. So this is Jonah J.J. Jameson from Spider-Man, And I guess this was the scene where Peter asked him for a raise or something. And so they just basically pulled that clip out, and then the comment below this one is, Steve Rogers, Captain America, just became one of the biggest villains in the Marvel Universe. That's the thing, is Marvel's best villains are each other. Like, these guys are so powerful. They're our favorite heroes. Like, look at this reaction from Civil War. Like, we literally... The world got pulled apart, mostly towards Team Cap, regrettably. But,
I beg to differ on that fact.
But, literally, like, can you imagine, like, as this spreads in the rest of the comics, and everyone has to deal with a Hydra agent Captain America?
Because I don't think it's going to be a secret for much longer, because, I mean, like, he pushed the guy out of a plane.
No, not just push, threw him out!
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no denying that was deliberate.
Ooh.
Which, however, there's an important point where if he was really a villain, wouldn't he have killed him?
Maybe.
Did you find a good one?
Yeah, I found a really funny one. So to read the caption, it's the final panel where Captain America is saying Hydra.
I didn't think that one was funny.
And it's basically, they're just making fun of the fact that they're doing a Ghostbusters reboot. It's like, it's just that the first Ghostbusters was a really important part of my childhood. So...
Yeah, I've seen one where it was like, had Peter Parker saying, screw responsibility.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that was my favorite one. It was like Spider-Man. It's like Captain America, Hail Hydra, Spider-Man, F responsibility.
So Daredevil, I could see all along. Batman, I killed my parents.
Oh yeah,
Deadpool, I hate chimichangas.
No, Deadpool was. I don't remember Deadpool. Deadpool was something different, but yeah.
I've seen at least one edit that was chimichangas.
Mm.
One for Deadpool might be really funny is, my next movie is going to be G.
I wish my movie was G-rated.
But no, honestly, it's just good writing. And if anyone wants to disagree with me, I challenge you. It is good writing. You cannot prove me wrong. Like,
whether or not you like the ending is
different. But read the comic, like Scott has said multiple times. Read the comic, stay with it, stay on top. This story is going to be big, and it is going to be epic. And honestly, I might get a comic book subscription just for this one.
Good.
But
yeah, I found the Daredevil one. I could see it the whole time.
Alright, so I think that about wraps it up. We're running out of time.
Does it?
If you're listening to this, we want your help finding the funniest Captain America Hail Hydra memes. We want them. We're going to include our favorite collection. We're going to spend the next little while gathering them up before the release. We're going to include them in our show notes. We want your help to find the best ones. And in fact...
Or if you want to make one, even better.
Ooh, beautiful.
Make them. We will definitely put it on our page.
The person who finds or makes the best one will get a no prize, much like our fake sponsors.
Yeah.
You'll get the fake.
Regrettably, we can't do a prize at this point. I would love to.
We'll feature your name. Like in a future podcast or something.
We'll definitely give you a shout out in the future podcast. So, in fact, actually, you know what? Let's sell a future fake sponsorship to that person.
Okay, you get when we pick it.
You get the
fake sponsor.
You're gonna be the imaginary sponsor for the podcast.
And if you win and you don't want it to be you specifically, you want it to be something else, we will sponsor it within reason.
Within reason.
We do have veto power. We won't do Dos Equis or.
We won't be sponsored by Hydra, or will we?
This episode has been brought to you by Hydra. Come join.
Actually,
I know we said Nerdist, but it's actually Hydra.
Yeah, Nerdist. We will put you on the back burner. We'll get back to you. I promise. We will make you a sponsor in the future. I promise.
So, by the way, also before we finish, I found a good one. It's Darth Vader. I'm not your father.
That's great.
That is awesome.
So, yeah. So final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Hail Hydra.
My final thoughts are just, this is probably what Scott's going to say too, but read the comic and enjoy it for the writing, regardless of how you feel about the ending. Because it really is just so intriguing to see how it plays out.
It sucks you in.
Oh, yeah.
Final thoughts for me, same thing. Read the comic. But I would say if you're super upset about this, like, and And especially if you're not used to the way comics work, because, for example, it's usually a once a month thing. And for example, the next issue isn't going to be till June 29th.
Yep.
It's a long time from the date of recording this. So if you're really upset about this and you're not used to the way comics work or something, wait until like there's 10 issues of it and then read it. So it's just read it all at once, because then by then there'll be more information.
Wouldn't it be in a volume at that point?
They might actually release it as a trade paperback at that point. So
let me check something, because hold on, my audio's gonna be
maybe I'll buy it as a volume instead.
Bye, Grant.
A comic.
Hope you find your dad.
Just wait for the whole thing to get done, and then just buy it as a whole volume.
Yeah, they'll sell trade paperbacks of it. Yeah. So that's if you don't want to wait, or if you're super upset about this, wait until it's all there. But definitely read it, because there's definitely more going on than it seems. And I am waiting for Grant to come back. And hey, here he is.
So I have here, I'm looking at my, I don't know if I can call these trade paperbacks.
They're trades. I think it's still the same.
Of some other Captain America comics.
Wait, you like Captain America?
Died. And I'm trying to see how many are in here. So this one has 5 issues in it. This one also has 5 issues. So it seems like they go into trade after about 5 issues.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say wait. If you're super upset about, wait, but still read it, and stop giving people death threats.
Yeah.
If you give people death threats, you're part of Hydra. That's how it works.
Yeah. We officially label you part of Hydra. Death threats for anything.
A Hydra Nazi.
So, ooh.
You're worse than Hydra. You're worse than Nazi, because
you're both. But yeah, read it. And before, as we're gonna do our outros, I thought it'd be fun. We're gonna do our own memes. You're gonna say who you hail, which is just the opposite. You gotta think. I'll start to give you guys more time.
Okay.
So, I have been Scott, and hail Superman.
You did not just say Superman.
I did. Let the hate commence.
I'm Grant, and hail Elvis. The king lives.
Alright, and I'm Craig, and hail paper cuts.
You heard it here first, folks. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time.